It's Easter season in the Italian communities of South Philadelphia, and the markets and neighborhoods are alive with symbols of the holiday. Through secular and religious customs, people come together to celebrate, with flowers, new clothes, special holiday foods. Some people attend church, while others decorate their homes and windows. Still others make and exchange traditional decorated palms. Palm stalks blessed in church mark the beginning of Easter week and symbolize Christ's entry into Jerusalem. These blessed palms are saved through the year until the following Ash Wednesday, when their burning completes the sacred cycle. These are the formal church uses of palm, but for centuries folk traditions have included other uses. On Palm Sunday, the links between the living and dead are renewed and made visible, as elaborately woven palms are placed on graves, offerings of devotion and remembrance. Today in Philadelphia, palms are also given as peace offerings, displayed in the home, and brought to relatives as signs of respect. In this folk art tradition, the makers are members of the community who've learned to weave, braid, cut, and shape palms for their own use as well as their neighbors. This is the story of 3 groups of palm weavers, whose methods and motivations vary as much as their designs.
Now, how do you start them? Here's how I do it.
Let me see how you do it.
I get 2, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is, I'm doing this
Yeah,
in the
go
middle.
ahead. I know what you're doing. I don't do that
Okay,
either.
I get this one this way.
Well,
and
no, I don't start. See, I go this way.
Each year during Easter season, Frances Rocha, her husband, daughters, and grandchildren gather for 3 weeks of hard work, weaving over 250 palms for long-standing customers. Frances says the tradition began in 1928 with her father, who made them as gifts for family and friends.
Like I was telling them, he didn't say to us, well, you're going to make palms? Will you make palms? You're going to make them. He used to make the starting of the bells on one side of the palm, and then we would finish them, and then he would start the other side, and then we would finish them, and that's how we started to learn.
60 years later, the family still follows the same pattern Frances learned from her father. First, they strip the palm of loose strings and tie the base with twine. Then they work 4 leaves tightly over and under to make a bell, also called a cone or beehive. Once the bells are woven up each side, they divide the unwoven center leaves into 3 groups and weave them as flat plaits. With the family working at night and on weekends, palms literally take over the house and dominate their lives.
The most you could do at night is 3. It's the most. Of course, if your back gives out.
We don't give up anything for Lent. That's our penance, because they're backbreakers. And you're up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning making them.
Each day the bathtub serves as a holding bin for palms in all stages. Out on the back balcony, piles of finished palms are layered with burlap and dampened regularly to keep them fresh and pliable. Despite all the work, the Roaches only charge enough to cover costs. They continue to weave palms each year, not for profit, but in memory of Frances's father.
He must be laughing wherever he's at. But what are you going to do? I used to tell him all the time, Daddy, anything happens to you, them palms are gone. But it didn't work out that way. And I feel that I have to make them for him, and that's why I do it. And naturally, all the children and grandchildren are making them. Complaining, but they make them. Looks complicated, don't it, to get them started. And you know, did you...
Well, how come you don't start the way I do?
Shut up.
We all taught the same.
Do you know something?
I can't
start
start
on that side. I got to start on this side first. How about you?
I can't start them your way.
No. I mean, when you start making...
What, do you just want a stalk, or do you want it? Stalks are $2. We have 8, 10, and 12. We have $8 palms, $10.
Several blocks away, near the Italian market, Betty Mongaluzzo makes and sells palms at her small dress shop with her sister, Trish Silverti. The sisters, who've been making palms for 20 years, learned as children in St. Paul's school, and Trish later donated her skills to the church.
I only got into it to do it for the church. It was a nice feeling knowing that your pieces were on the altar. Everybody went to church and said, I made that. So neighbors started asking us to make them. And then as friends started having friends, the next thing you know, you're in business. And this is something that nobody else really knows that much about, so I'm not in competition that much. So it's a way of getting a little corner or an edge, just a few extra dollars. Always gets me out of the hole. I get in a hole at Christmas, then I get out of the hole with palms.
In addition to full woven palms, the sisters make small posies from damaged stalks. They also make another popular type of decorated palm, where 2-inch strips are looped and stapled to plywood backings.
To make one of them crosses, you have to have the wood. Then you have to sit and strip the stalk of palm, cut it, line it up. It takes you an hour before you put one piece of palm on the cross. Now, nobody wants to know that. Then it takes you another hour to put the 90 pieces of palm on the cross. Then you have to put a stand on it and a bow on it.
Unlike the Roaches, who never alter their design, Trish and Betty have changed the pattern they learned as children. By ending their palms in loose loops, they cut the weaving time in half and achieve a pretty bow effect. On warm days, they often work outside and chat with people walking by. Their sidewalk stand is introducing the palms to new clientele and new uses.
It's just a tradition. Yeah. And I sell door knockers. People in Center City right now are putting little baby palms on their doors as decoration. I also made centerpieces for Easter tables. I cut pieces of this off and decorated, gave them to people that were having company. One Jewish lady was here and she wanted something different, so I made her all of these to put with the flowers on the table.
Sir, most of the palm come in very large this year.
Mother Nature colors them, we just work with it. She does all the shading. See the freshness? This is what we work with. This is what they want to buy.
Oh, all right.
Daddy, did she come and pick the palm?
Pretty soon, pretty soon.
"20 miles away in Tacony, 40 members of Our Lady of Consolation Parish are busy putting the finishing touches on a wide variety of decorated palms. Their efforts will culminate in a huge Palm Sunday display and sale that draws customers from all over the Northeast. Some parish weavers specialize in making complex woven palms, but most people work on a variety of simpler forms, single braids or cones set off with ribbon, and small crosses of palms stapled on cardboards. In order to produce large numbers quickly, the group works in assembly line fashion. Longtime parish weaver Aurelia Felino explains that this approach allows everyone to join in.
There's always something for somebody to do. Now, if you can't make crosses, you can always cut ribbons, you can always make bows, you can always cut the strips, you can always strip the palm. There's so many procedures before you see the finished product. There's something for everybody to do. Come on down.
The practice of making small palm crosses began during the Depression with the parish nuns, who used the proceeds to buy their Easter dinner. Since the 1950s, the event has been organized by the Gaddy family. Mike Gaddy's son Anthony has carried the responsibility since his father's recent death.
My family is the spearhead, if you want to call it. But for this week, those people are just an extension of our family. It's fun for them in a sense. They get out, they talk, you know, they trade stories and all. But I know this year in particular, and I have to say, it's in my father's memory.
Well, it's been a tradition in our parish for as long as I can remember. I enjoy making things. I enjoy doing things with my hand. You know, I've been doing it since I was in 7th grade here in Consolation School.
It's a community thing, and everybody takes part. And you know what? It's something for me to do. And it's with all my friends, and they're all wonderful. You know, they're all great.
Still raining?
Still raining? I don't know. And one umbrella won't cover the two of you.
We won't be here.
Sunday morning, Palm Sunday, when I go to the cemetery, I take the blessed palm to my mother and father's grave and to my grandmother and grandfather's grave. But I also make one of these, which was the regular palm, and then I just put a little piece of blessed palm on it. The palms are a symbol. They're put on there as the symbol of just love, really. It's exactly what they are.
Palm Sunday, for the Italians, at least our community here, is a big time. It's a time of remembrance. I had moved away, then I realized, hey, wait a minute, it's time to get back to your roots a little bit.
It was 4 of us that learned how to make them. And out of her 10 grandchildren, only 2 make them. I think we looked at things differently then. We were just told that we had to do it, and we did it. And when now we do them, my mother does them, so we just do them to help her as a tradition, sort of a family tradition.
That's beautiful. Now the ones I like to work on are just like this. The center's yellow and the sides are green. And that's the ones I like. But everybody has a different taste. Come Palm Sunday, every one of my palms are beautiful. There's no such thing as a bad palm when you put that much time into something.